Nabla just came out with a new exciting lip formula. They have released a new Beyond Blurry lipsticks and we have 6 new shades, or are they new? We have 6 shades in this range and some of them are actually inspired by their Beyond Jelly lipsticks. I got all the shades in their bundle deal that they had on their site and I'm going to be trying them out, do a little bit of a wear test, lip swatching all the shades, give you my thoughts, so let's get into it. Alright, so these lipsticks come in the cutest little box. They're all snug in there all together. Very, very cute. I thought the whole vibe of this collection was very springtime appropriate. I love the kind of like watercolory vibe on the box and on the boxes of the lipsticks themselves. Very cute with the pink and the purple. I'm all here for it. And then the actual bullets of the lipsticks are just my absolute favorite of the different lip ranges that they offer. Such a beautiful matte pink shade. I think these look amazing. And when you open it, you have this really nice soft matte lipstick. It all just looks very nice, very interesting. These are supposed to be very comfortable, sheer but buildable, and they are supposed to last pretty long. I don't know if they have like a claim. There's not like an amount of hours on here, but they're supposed to be like everything you want in a sheer matte lipstick. So we're gonna see if that turns out to be true. Okay, so the shade we're gonna start out with is the shade Celeste. This is kind of like a cool tone nude. It looks kind of deep looking at it in the bullet, but it looks a little bit more like lighter in the swatch. I do feel like none of these are like super light. This still, I think, is gonna be a little bit of a deeper shade. We're gonna see how it looks on lips. Alright, so I zoomed in a little bit. Let's apply. So the first thing I noticed definitely is that this is so velvety, smooth, balmy feeling on the lips. Like these feel so soft when you apply them. Like you've actually applied a lip balm, but then it looks matte and blurry and it just looks super smooth. When I look up close, I just feel like my lips look really, really nice. I do see like a slight bit of satininess to it. It's not like that flat matte. It feels like it has a little bit of life to it. I'm gonna see what happens if I apply just a little more, just to see how much I can build this up. Yeah, I don't feel like this is gonna be super deep. It remains a bit of a softer color. I think mainly with the darker shades, we're gonna see quite a difference when I'm gonna try and build those up. It has just a slight bit of a balmy look to it, but in a way that I do really enjoy, and it just feels so good on the lips. I am very excited for all of these shades now. I'm very excited for this formula. Alright, next shade we have is Divine Eyes? Divine Eyes? Is Divine Eyes? I'm not sure. But this is a little bit more of a... It seemed a little bit more of a peachy nude, like a slightly warmer leaning nude, but not super peachy or a super orangey or yellowy undertone. It seems to be a nude that's just leaning slightly into the other direction from the first shade that we tried. It's almost a little rosy. It's almost a little like, I don't know, peachy rosy in undertone. I really like the shade of this. I tried to do a little bit of a like thinner layer to see if I can make more of a difference if I apply another layer. Yeah, I don't know if that did much. But once again, I think this is a really beautiful color and I don't really see any differences in the finish or the way it sits on the lips. It sits on the lips exactly as the other shade, but it's just a different color. Alright, next up we have the shade Dea, and I'm very excited for this one. This is actually a shade that already exists in the Beyond Jelly line. I don't have the Beyond Jelly version of this, so I cannot compare, but this is a really kind of like reddish rosy nude, it seems, at least in the swatch. We're gonna see how it looks on the lips, but this looks like such an interesting, beautiful color, a little bit deeper than the two we've already seen. I would say this is a little bit of a cooler tone mauve, a little bit deeper, very nice if you have like a cool undertone. This is gonna be a very nice nude. Also, if you are a little bit deeper of skin tone, then this is gonna look a lot more natural on you than it does on me. I'm gonna apply another layer. Yeah, I really like this color, but I feel like I would wear this one a little bit more like blotted, a little bit more in a thinner layer, maybe with a lip liner that pulls it a little bit more towards something a little lighter, just for me personally, but I think this is a beautiful shade to have in the range. This looks gorgeous. The next one, I am very curious to see how this is gonna look. This is the shade Saint, and this seems to be kind of like a cool toned, almost chocolatey brown nude, and it looks deep in the bullet, but I don't think it's gonna be that deep on the lips. I think this is such a cool shade, very grungy, very chocolatey brown. I think I would personally prefer this with a little bit of a lip liner because I feel like that would make it look a little bit more even. Now I feel like it's just, oh, that's better, that's better. Like you can blend it in a little bit. Yeah. You can really decide how you want to wear these. You can wear them a little bit more full on with a lip liner, or you can kind of like blend them out and really get that blurred lip line look, or maybe even apply it to the center, kind of blend it, and then, I don't know, do a gloss on top. I feel like these are very versatile. You can do many things with this. I like this shade. I do feel like this is the least smooth so far, but that also could be because I am lip swatching and my lips are getting a little bit angry with me and they have a little bit of staining underneath. But even so, I think this looks pretty good, pretty promising. Okay, I'm actually gonna switch up the order a little bit. I'm now gonna try the shade Nocturna. This is also one of the shades that is already in the Beyond Jelly line. This is that sheer dark purple, kind of like Clinique Black Honey-ish, very similar to that. And now they have the matte version. Once again, don't have the Beyond Jelly version of this one, so I can't compare, but I'm very excited to try this one out because it seemed very sheer. So we're gonna see how this is gonna look. One layer of this looks so good. I am kind of loving this. This just adds a hint of purple, adds a hint of kind of like grungy coolness without being like super overpowering, doing too much. It still looks very natural, but you get a little bit of the purple hint to the look. I think this looks very, very cool. I'm gonna add another layer. Now it looks much more full on, much more like grungy, much more deep. I feel like this is gonna be one of the most versatile ones because there's definitely a big difference between just adding a thin first layer or really building it up. I think I am gonna prefer this in a thin layer. I think I'm really gonna love it like that, but this one is really cool. I do feel like the lighter shades look the smoothest, also because they're the most similar to my lip color. It just like blends in more. I feel with this one I see a little bit more texture, but also my lips, they don't like lip swatches as much as I do. Then for the last shade in the range, we're gonna try Aphrodite. This is gonna be quite a red shade, but a little bit more of a muted red, a little bit more of a nude red. Makes me think a little bit of the shade Libido, which I do have from the Beyond Jelly line that I really, really like. So I'm kind of hoping it's gonna be something like that. Looks really promising, also looks really promising in a swatch, so let's try it out. Alright, I really like this one. I think this might be one of my favorites, but I think I actually like all of the shades. All of them have their own charm, have their own place in this collection, I think. I really like this red. It is red, but it's natural. It's red, but it's soft. It's a really beautiful shade. I love wearing these types of red. If I wear a red, it's gonna be something like this, and I am a huge fan of this look. Alright, so I added a little bit of lip liner. I used the Lunar Beauty Milk Tea lip liner to kind of see how that makes it look, and I really like this lipstick with a little bit of liner. I'm gonna do a little bit of a wear test. I'm gonna film another video, I'm gonna eat dinner, I'm gonna drink some tea, and then I'll be back in a few hours. Because there's not really like a strict time limit or like a promise of a certain amount of hours. I'm just gonna see how this holds up throughout the night. And then after that I will come back and then I will do a little bit of an update. So it's a few hours later. I did some eating, I did some drinking, I did some thinking. And I definitely have some thoughts. So all in all, I feel like this is a very comfortable formula. It is pretty long wearing, it doesn't transfer a lot, it doesn't feel too slippy, but it still feels balmy at the same time. I was actually pretty impressed with the wear on this. Usually lip products fade off pretty quickly when I drink tea. There's just something about drinking tea, they just wear off, and here I had no issues of it just getting all over my mug. And I would say that the lip mainly looks more blotted, and I can see that it kind of like settled a little bit into lines, but I feel like that's mostly because I rubbed my lips raw with the swatching part. That's the only thing that I would say here, is that I do see it kind of like emphasizing a little bit of like lip texture, but there's something with these blotted matte lip products where you sometimes have that a little bit. I would say I don't really mind it. I quite like how this wore, and I think if I would just wear this lip product for a day without lip swatching first, just give it like a full chance, I think it would be even more comfortable than it has felt now, because I could definitely tell that these are super balmy. So yeah, so far I think Nabla did a great job with these lip products, but of course I'm gonna test them out a little bit more to be sure about it. But so far so good. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe, and then I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.